Good. All right, we are now live. It is 7:34, and I'll call meeting 1453 to order. At this time, I'd like to welcome online viewers. Agenda meeting 1453 is in front of you. Are there any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. Minutes regular meeting number 1452 from April 10th. Need a mover to accept. Moved by Deputy Mayor Young, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for questions. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Business arising from the minutes. Is there any business arising from the minutes? Hearing none. All those in favor? Okay, moving on to new business. Is there any new business to add tonight? Councillor Langdon.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to congratulate the Deer Lake Red Wings, who came second place in the hurler champion this year in Southern Shore. Certainly the community is quite proud of them, and we appreciate all the business support, corporate support, and the fans out this entire season. And we look forward to seeing them all back next year. So congratulations to the Red Wings.
Absolutely, well noted. Any more new business to add? Hearing none, we'll move on to correspondence. Here we go. Let's see. Department of Transportation Infrastructure project approval for Main Dam Road upgrades. For your information, Pasadena Heritage invitation to AGM. No, sorry, I'm on a different meeting here, aren't I?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I just cut on to that as I'm going through. Let's see here. Just give me 1 sec, would you, folks?
Are your tabs working on the bottom?
I'm not sure. Here we go. Let's see. When one digital device fails, go to the other. Sorry. Government Newfoundland Labrador Department of Municipal Infrastructure circular changes to master specifications and other updates for your information. Parkinson's Society proclamation. April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. We have a proclamation. Lord, you want to do that now?
Sure.
Deputy Mayor, if you wouldn't mind.
I do. I'll try to read it from here. This is to let all members of council and all citizens of the town of Deer Lake know that April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. Over 1,500 families in Newfoundland and Labrador live with Parkinson's disease, a neurodegenerative disease which causes tremor, slowness and stiffness, impaired balance, rigidity of muscles, and trouble speaking. Parkinson's Society of Newfoundland and Labrador is the provincial voice of people living with Parkinson's. Through research, education, advocacy, and support services, the Society endeavors to ease the burden for all those affected by Parkinson's. The Western Regional Chapter of Parkinson's Society, Newfoundland and Labrador, offers monthly meetings and free weekly exercise classes. If you are living with Parkinson's disease, you do not need to be alone. I invite all citizens of Deer Lake to join me in recognizing Parkinson's Awareness Month, April, yeah. Yep, 2023.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Young, seconded by Councillor Jones. All those in favor? Motion carried. And just for note, you'll see, I guess not everyone sits down and gets a bag of popcorn to watch council meetings around the province, but usually it's the mayor that reads proclamations. It's not in the act that it has to be the mayor, so you'll see it more fitting to what everyone's got a role in council, and it's more structured. So if it's going to be arts, recreation, culture, that I call upon the chair. So that's why, because I've been questioned a few times in public to why we do it a little different. So just to let public know we're more of a team approach. So thank you for that, Deputy Mayor. We will move on to reports. Finance, Councillor Jones, please.
Okay, the finance meeting was held, and I'll do a couple items first, and we'll do accounts payable after. Finance held on April 20th. There were 2 items there. One is for the Royal Canadian Legion Veterans Service Recognition book donation. We recommend the standard donation of $25. And number 2, the Elwood Elementary School donation towards their breakfast fundraiser for a wheelchair at the school, and we recommend $1,000 for that. And these are all budget items.
All right, moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Deputy Mayor Young. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. On to accounts payable. Councillor Jones.
Okay, I'll do the accounts payable, I guess, items number 1 to number 31, excluding number 5 and number 33. I move we accept this report.
All right, just for note, that's to 32, sorry, right? 1 to 32, excluding 5 and 33. All right, moved by
Yeah.
Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for a question. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Just a quick one.
Go
Just
ahead.
wondering, what, Deer Lake Pharmacy, which pharmacy is Deer Lake Pharmacy? I'm just saw it there and I thought, is that their like official legal name or like who is that? Deer Lake Pharmacy.
Would be 1 of 3, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Lori?
just more of a curiosity.
That would be lot.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause I
okay.
think Shoppers is like Rainbow something.
Okay. That's just more like their legal name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just okay.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any more questions, comments, or concerns for the accounts payable? Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'm gonna step up to
step-
conflict number
We'll
5.
do number 5 now.
Yep, so Councillor Hancock's going to step out for a conflict.
Okay, so number 5 on the accounts payable for B&S Trucking for $2,714. This is our fee for dumpster rental and disposal at the Hatter and the depot. So I move we accept number 5 in the report.
All right, moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you.
I'll step out now for 33.
Okay, sounds good. And as I was the one to fill in so that they could have their meeting, Deputy Mayor Young, I can't move the next one for accounts payable. So if you would so kindly move accounts payable item number 33.
Sure. Number 33, I move that we pay the invoice for $1,618.48 to Western Steelworks.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Young, sorry, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. All right, that concludes finance accounts payable. Moving on to environment and housing. Back, the floor is yours, Councillor Jones.
Okay, I'm going to, in this report here, I'm going to do a separate motion on the last item for the C&M properties. So I'll do the other one first, or the ones on the first on the list. So we held a meeting on April 20th, 23. Number 1 to number 7 is all general repairs. The permits have been issued. Number 8 for decks or decks extensions and patios. Number 8 to number 12. All these permits has been issued. Under accessory buildings, 13 to 16. All these permits have been issued. Under commercial, 17 ASDA, 173 Nicholsborough Road, new building for food and beverage service. The permit has been issued. For anybody, I guess, like to know, there's quite a bit of hype around town about this new building going there. Joe Butts locate, so it'll be a great asset to our town. Under accessory buildings, number 18, 4 Scott Drive for Grads, will approve with pending a variance. Number 19, Canal Road for 16 Canal Road, Airbnb, approving pending service in L. And number 20, Home Care and Community Support Services, Inc. Needs proof of approval application to operate from the community for provincial health authority in order to set up. So we'll write a letter of support as long as the location chosen meets our regulations, and it will be recommended for approval. Number 21, 4 Scott Drive, heat pump sales, home-based business with no traffic in the area. It's just a home-based business office. Recommend approval. Number 22, 81 Witch Road, looking to obtain a dealer's license to buy vehicles, salvage parts to repair vehicles, and sell. We're deferring number 22 for more information. Under the other section, the Deer Lake RV Park for FYI. Rentals will be starting in the RV park, all within the approved boundary of the current RV park. And Deidre, which is the owner, can be contacted for bookings at Deidre_Roberts@hotmail.com. And the next one on the other would be car wrecks. So our municipal enforcement officer will be, I guess, patrolling our streets and our neighborhoods. We will be addressing car wrecks in our residential neighborhoods during May cleanup month. And we're going to do a follow-up, I guess, after the commercial properties first. So just, I guess, a bit of FYI that, we're going out to remove these vehicles at no expense of the owner. So here's a chance to get the vehicles, I guess, cleaned up around your yards or in certain areas that we feel they should be removed. There's not no hasty visits. It's just a friendly visit from our EMO to help out and support anybody that wants to remove the vehicles in the area. So I move that we accept the report of environment housing for Thursday, April 20th.
All right, moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for a question.
Just a quick question there with the variance for Fort Scott Drive. What are they actually looking for in a variance?
Which one you say was?
Fort Scott Drive, sorry.
Number 18.
For the size and variance is too big.
It's
So
too
you got to
big.
put a variance to meet the qualifications.
Okay, just curious. Thank you.
All right, any more questions?
I do have a question about 21. So the application, you had said is a heat pump business, but the application actually is for recreational retail sales.
Yeah, basically he's going to be, he wants to advertise his business in the Deer Lake surrounding area, so we come to his office where people who are visiting. Like one vehicle at a time, it's not going to be like a manufacturing company, nothing there. Just home-based business for him to sell and set up accounts to sell the equipment.
For heat pumps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you have anything else that you feel, you want to question, just.
No, for me, all season recreational retail would be, like, I just think side-by-sides, snowmobiles. Like, to me, that's kind of where my head goes with recreational retail, and I just wonder
I tend to agree with Deputy Mayor.
to kind of clarify that, because that could be something completely different.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
versus
Yeah,
heat
we can
pumps.
definitely, and like I said, that's what we're there for, to make sure that we don't overlook nothing, so we will get the
And I mean, I
municipal
guess,
enforcement officer to look at it more in detail.
I guess in some ways, I noticed it just says approved, but depending on where that goes, I wonder could it be like an approved pending service NL, depending on the circumstances.
Wow, after talking to the MEO, he's saying that it's a home-based business.
Oh, okay.
So I will get, we got notes made there, we can verify tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it's heat pumps and that, maybe he might even want to submit a different,
Yeah, and it's gonna be like air,
Application,
yeah,
right?
air
The
conditionings
application's
and
not
stuff like
very
that there, right? Not just
clear.
heat pumps.
yeah.
But we will get details, and I guess someone can flip an email to all of us, just let us know that the concerns are looked at and met.
Great, thank you.
Okay, and that's noted. Any more questions or comments for Environment and Housing Report? I just wanted to make one quick note in the under items of other for the Deer Lake RV Park. Contact, is that something we can share on? I know a lot of council members got questioned, Jason, about how do you get hold of someone, and it's not like we got 1,000 people home sitting around watching live streams. Usually there's like a dozen at max, but I'm just wondering if we can help, because it's such an area that people are asking about. Maybe we can help share that, even direct it to their link. So.
Yeah, and we can certainly do some social media. They've also decided they've got some highway signage
Mhm.
to actually put along the tourism corridor, we call it.
Okay.
So they have their own signage, and they're also planning to use their own marketing in terms of
Perfect.
email may change to more generic. But right now, I know even in town office, we've got certain people reaching to us because it has the Deer Lake RV name. It's always in this department.
Yeah.
But they're in the transition process of some branding.
Yeah.
Meantime, we've been steadily making sure that communication is being different operators. Yeah, Park would certainly help.
Yeah, and I guess in all, 7 seats, these roles, you get asked a lot of questions of directions or who or what, and sometimes the easiest way to direct people is Facebook, right? So just look at the town site sometimes in collaboration. All
Well,
right,
I mean-
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, it was great. I seen the post go today for the spring cleanup, because I'd say that's the biggest question I've been asked lately. And I just said, like, was telling Mike, I was like, "Gee, I think we should put something, like, put some dates or something, because like everybody's asking that. So
Yeah.
it's great when it gets out there. You know?
Essentially, to that point, I was gonna wait for tonight to make sure, but
Oh, okay.
upon coming to work this morning, the front end staff did
Yeah.
that. So when Maxine and I did clear ourselves from some meetings,
Gotcha.
I had folks ready. I was gonna wait for the night, but I made an executive decision.
Yeah, I think it was a good one. That was a good one.
Definitely.
Okay.
And again, everyone gets excited for, and not everyone can meet schedule or dates, but if you can just hold off a little bit until closer to the date would be.
And Mayor, just on the car wrecks, as Councilor Jones brought up, this is a friendly approach that, I mean, if people have wrecks, haven't had wherewithal to know what to do with it, reach out to us. Is that we're trying to help people.
Yeah.
This is not just someone that's got a vendetta.
Yeah.
It's more or less a friendly approach that we want to help you. And that they did see today, we have to drop off, curbside collection schedule will be coming out in the coming days. And that's typically when we have our staff, they probably engage and discuss the wreckings in the garden and how we can assist with having them removed.
No, that's true.
properly
That's true.
And environmentally friendly, because we don't want to be spilling any contaminants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, definitely, all good notes.
That's good.
All right, any more questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried. Councilor Jones.
Thank you. Okay, so the item I want done separate. Let me get it up there now. This is for C&M Properties, 810 Nichols Drive. It's for a quadplex. We went out and advertised, we done our, I guess our due diligence several times. And so anyway, we got letters back from the immediate area. We met, so response received from public advertising. Council is to use their discretion as per development regulation to decide to approve or decline proposed development. After reviewing the 8-9 letters that we have from the residents, our environment nosing is recommending that we accept this proposal for 810 Nichols Drive, sorry.
All right, moved by Councilor Jones, seconded by Councilor Langdon. Call for question. Go ahead, Councilor Fitzgerald.
I apologize beforehand because we know we've been talking about this quite a bit, but as I mentioned in previous meetings, I still stand by that this is more deemed for a high-density development as per Regulation 9.5. Once again, we're finding another discretionary request under 9.4 in the same area, medium-high density, where I think Nichols Landing residents have been simply getting tired of this possible movement of extra buildings. So just as a question there for E&H, based on the conditions of 9.4, E&H doesn't feel that we're reducing the general residential quality and amenities of the area, knowing that we've had numerous calls for water pressure issues in the area, and now we're going to add 2 additional hookups for this area at the same time. To me, we're reducing the amenities of this area based on the conditions of a discretion. So I guess my question for E&H is, well, with the respect to the 9 resident questions, which key items did E&H agree with or disagree with to come with their recommendation?
We reviewed every letter we had. We broke it all down. 90% of it is on, I guess, assumptions, the way what people was coming to the area, what type of rentals is going to be. As with the water pressure, if we, okay, it's a 4-plex, so we are being, the water pressure is lower during the summertime anyway, and we are addressing it. We are going through, always trying to improve our water. Our new filtration plant this year is coming in. It's going to be definitely a benefit. If this gentleman wanted to put 2 duplexes up on separate blocks of land, it's going to be approved, no questions asked. You don't have to do it for discretionary use.
But I'll interject there saying that, yeah, we got to take in discretion that the water pressure there is not available for a duplex at the time. We made this comment back in meeting 1427 in November of 21 that we were hopeful that we would be able to bring forward in their capital works program the booster station upgrades to help these people. But unfortunately, with things like Riverbank Road, we kind of had to postpone this need, which we already made that commitment to these people, and now it's deferred work further.
So, do you want me to turn down every household up there that comes up now? So you're telling me after 4 we can't do no more work?
No, I'm just saying we're in a duplex area in a single dwelling. You're asking for additional water hookups. Like you said, you just said there's assumptions. The proponent owns bed and breakfasts up in that area or Airbnbs. We know that for a fact. These are the things that are just issues that they were constantly duplicated in the 9 letters that I read. I don't know how other councillors felt, but it seems like it's a repetition of the same issues of safe neighborhood, water pressure, and just constant things of that neighborhood, that repetitious nature of each letter.
So,
And I'm sure they didn't talk to each other, so.
yeah, I know, but I can't understand it, because if it's a single house, it's a safe neighborhood. If it's a fourplex, it's a unsafe neighborhood.
That's not what I said.
That's misunderstanding. That's what I'm getting out of it.
No, the assumptions that you're making is that what the residents are saying is these are bed and breakfasts or they're Airbnbs. They've had people knocking on their doors from out of trying to find these places. These are the questions that they're saying. That's why I just wanted to know how E&H reflected on each of the comments that were made in these letters. We asked them for their opinion, and now I'm asking, well, we asked for their opinion, so how did E&H respect those comments?
Like I said, we went through it, someone knocking on your door looking for an address. I can't turn on development for miscommunication for someone to look for a place. The water pressure will be addressed. The zoning is classified as mediums, which comes under discretionary use, so he still meets our regulations. And as of, it's a rental. We don't know what he applied for, a fourplex, a rental unit. He's not going to advertise for Airbnb. If he goes for an Airbnb, he's not going to advertise for certain people or certain class to come down. I can't look at a letter because someone says we don't feel these people are fitted in our neighborhood. I can't agree with that. So like I said, everything I looked at, all the letters I looked at, I come back to the same thing, was a lot of assumptions. They don't break our regulations. So therefore, I'm after going through this since December of 2022. And I feel now we're after doing a due diligence several times, too many times. And that's why today we're making a
But could you clarify how this is an assumption, how these are assumptions? We only asked for their objections. They didn't make no assumptions. They did exactly what our ask was, to provide concerns and objections to this development.
Yeah.
How can you say there are assumptions made from these residents? As far as I would concern, they are living it, what they're seeing today. The water pressure we're not addressing. We are not addressing. We don't have the funding right now to do that.
Well, our filtration plant's going in this year.
But a filtration is not going to help our pressures.
Well, you know as well as I do that the houses up there is above the water supply here in Deer Lake, so it's probably always going to be pressure.
Well, that's
so
what
what
the
do,
booster
cut
station
down?
comes into.
Okay, so we only do 4 homes, and we got to shut down the 4 subdivision?
Well, I just think doing this, we may set a precedent for vacant land throughout the town to put up a quadplex. We're doing discretionary use again. Like I said, it's a high density. It's limited there without it's a permitted use in 9.5. We're asking for discretion. I feel that we're reducing the conditions of the area and the quality of the amenities. And that's all I want to say.
There you go. That's all I said
Yep,
too was
thanks.
advice. Now, I guess any questions or we vote on it and we move on? Make a decision, let's move on.
As the chair, I'll say this is the blessing of debate. Healthy is what it's supposed to be about. I think my main campaign, if I were to be the chair, the debate would happen in this chamber, and it's all healthy and fair and respectable, so I think everyone's point's been heard. We've got a mover, we've got a seconder, we'll go all in favor, or those in favor, sorry.
Comment there.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
No, I just wanted to say to the residents too that did object and with their concerns, and it's certainly my decision. I don't feel they were dismissed either. I feel that we shouldn't be burdening development on somewhat of assumptions saying that it will be potentially, whether Airbnbs or other properties. I feel as a community we have a due diligence to better address that as well in the future moving forward. such as concerns, actually, capping the capacity, because if we look at these quadplex with 1 and 2 bedrooms the capacity still could be less than larger homes in the area, which would be permitted under no objections. And in terms of the Airbnb, and I certainly think that those issues can be looked at in the future. And I feel right now in our current housing situation, this, such proposals we can't be turning away from, but some of the issues in the letters, yes, I feel can be addressed in the future as well with other regulations, but not to the specific building.
Okay. Anyone else? Questions or comments?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll weigh in a little bit in listening to you guys. I agree. I mean, we're in a tough housing circumstance. I think the letters did have a lot of good points. I think that it is hard too, because we also can't make our own assumptions. Meaning, he didn't apply for an Airbnb. He didn't register this as an Airbnb. Therefore, we can't make the assumption that it is going to be one until it is one, kind of thing as well. And that's tough, right? At the same time, perhaps he will. I don't know. And the other piece, I guess, is that I got to agree a little bit with Kiri as well when it comes to the water thing. I mean, if it indeed is that bad, then we have to be careful. We have to put some kind of an end to development in that area. Otherwise, we have to continue. And so, in some way, meaning, I know this is 4 units at once. But as I balance it all, I think I'd have to also allow it. Yeah, for me.
All I ask is when you look at this, you need to address the part of the conditions and discretionary use if you're reducing the quality of the services that are there. That is in our development guidelines.
Yeah.
And if it's questionable that you were reducing it, knowing that for 10 years that we've had water issues.
I
The
mean,
proponent owns Airbnbs in that area. They're advertised. They're not registered, but they're there. Then you can have the assumption that these residents were saying that there's an Airbnb. It's there. It's advertised.
I would hope. I mean, I'm
So-
probably wrong here, but I'd hope that if he does have some there, those should be registered.
They're unregistered. I've checked today. So
Well, that's something we should.
These are the things that-
like Councillor Langdon was saying. Airbnbs are definitely something I think a lot of municipalities are trying to get a handle on, and I think it's something that we.
Well, I think the government
Got
has
some
done
work
that
to do,
because next
yeah.
year when the province puts in their new Accommodations Act, I think it would be, it's going to help in many municipalities.
can't
It's
wait.
just to the point of,
I
that I can
can't-
understand the residents' concern for these Airbnbs.
I can't
It
say that
exists now.
I love. I can't say I love the look of a fourplex. I don't love the look of it, but at the same time, I tried to balance everything here. I did read all the letters. I feel for people that are experiencing some issues with this Airbnb situation, a lot of movement, but I'm trying to be careful not to make assumptions myself as well. And so for me, I'm just gonna, I'd be a yes for the.
I guess I'll chime in, seeing as I'm the last one. But I agree with a lot of points. I mean, I think we're definitely in a housing crisis, so any development proposal that comes to the table, I think we have to, really consider it. For me, when asked to use discretion, to me, those letters carry a lot of weight. So while Darren and I kind of disagree on how we read the legislation, I feel like the people in this area, I mean, their voice is very clear in these letters. And I also agree in that they certainly don't want this development there. I do think aesthetically and also with the services, I do think it will diminish this neighborhood. So I'm actually a no on this one.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm a no.
Anyhow, we shall put it to a vote. Listen, folks, sitting here, again, we've all signed up. You're going to be pushed with questions or decisions that aren't always easy. I think we all want to see development in the community. But the reality is, when you knock on doors, you listen to residents. It'll happen. This is not the last file that you'll see this come across. Don't feel pressured or divide it in this council. That's the whole point. As the clerk will keep reminding us, we walk it one unified, no matter how this motion goes. But we do have a mover and we have a seconder, so I will call for all those in favor. have 3 in favor. All those against? 3 against, and I will call motion defeated.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on to Public Works. That's not an actual report, but I guess Chair Fitzgerald, if you wanted to go, I guess it's more of a FYI update to council.
Sure, this is a quick works report. I guess our Director of Operations, Jason Young, and probably Dave Thomas threw this together for us, which I appreciate. So just to let you know, Public Works has been extremely busy. I'm sure everyone in the town has seen these guys out working, especially on White's Road there this weekend. So any which way, just a few updates on what Public Works is doing right now. So obviously they're at pothole repairs, and thank God we're at Chapel Hill today. Sweeping sidewalks and intersections, repairing broken water lines, like I just mentioned with White's Road. Side repairs from our snow clearing. They're currently hooking up the water and sewer for the new Joe Butts Lookout, I guess you want to call it a bar and grill, I'm not too sure. Curb stop repairs from snow clearing, guide rail repairs, removing markers, and still removing snow from our cul-de-sac, so good on you, Dave, and your team. No, that's it for Public Works there. Mayor?
All right, thank you. So we don't need an actual motion. I just wanted to bring up speed to myself, and the incoming town manager spoke today about Riverbank. The preliminary, the engineering will take place sooner than later, and to get the delineator straightened back up, because the snow's pushed them over, obviously, and we're keeping a close eye on that. Love to have a fix overnight, but we are working towards it. So that being said, I will move on to the next committee, Parks and Recreation Committee. Another FYI, if you would do so kindly, Councillor Langham, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just for your information for everyone from the Department of Arts, Culture and Recreation, the basketball court has been partially open. Snow is still melting in the end near Church Street, and we hope to have it open sometime soon and cleaned off and prepared. Walk-through construction has been completed on the arena behind the home visiting and penalty boxes area. The minor hockey 3-day Easter tournament ended on Wednesday, April 12th here. It was a very well ran and organized tournament, and I'd like to thank Deer Lake Minor Hockey for that. And as well, I'd like to congratulate all the teams that traveled throughout this province once again this year, from under 11 to under 18. And I know there's a lot of success in the province, so we're certainly very proud of each and every one of you. The Herder held game number 1 and 2 on the 14th and 15th of April, and had over 1,200 spectators in the arena in both nights, so we certainly appreciate the community support there. The bowling alley upgrades have been installed, and the bowling alley has now reopened, so that includes all new gutter system, which was approved in budget 2023. The swimming pool painting and waxing has been completed, and the pool has now also reopened. Spring swimming lessons have started on Monday, April 17th. A major active NL project that had to be completed will begin shortly. The completion of the Main Street Playground wheelchair pathways and the wheelchair concrete pad on Joe Butts. And also, I know for future reference, we have also this year going to do an accessibility audit on all of our playgrounds in the community and public spaces to ensure the investments we make are the most practical at all times. And the final item, the next major project, would be construction of the fence at Swartz's Park, mitigating ATV traffic in and around pedestrians from the soccer field and skate parks and softball courts and dog parks in the building, traveling through the park and creating a designated parking area for all park users. And once again, that's just an FYI, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councillor Langdon. At this portion of the meeting, as you've noticed in the last two, there's always been a mayor's report. I left that out, that's left out specifically to take a few minutes to recognize a lady that's sitting to my, not gonna get emotional. To my right, the town manager that I've had the pleasure to work with for the last 6 years, is her last official council meeting. And I can't say thank you enough for hearing me, listening to me, putting up with me, putting me in my place sometimes when need be, and just for all you've done for the community. It's not an easy task, Maxine, to always work in public. And when you can do it for 42 years, that's an outstanding accomplishment. So I will say it, we will miss you. You're probably not going to miss us most days, but we wish you all the best in your retirement. And again, thanks so much for everything you've given to the town, and I wish you all the best in your retirement. And if you'd all... And with that, if there's no other further business or comments, questions or concerns tonight, I will ask for an adjournment.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Jones. This meeting is adjourned at 8:09. Thank you.